What's up, guys? It's Uncle Freedom coming to you on another glorious and well-deserved, very dreary and rainy day off. So today, we're going to look at something that is absolutely essential to you as a gun owner, a gun user, and everything else, and that's our magazines. So if that sounds like fun and interest to you guys, maybe you just got questions about different kinds of mags, different brands, or you just want to see what I got to say on the subject, go ahead and like, subscribe, tell a friend, because we're growing, and for that, I thank you. So first off, let's look at handguns. We all concealed carry, at least we should. I'm a firm believer if you can legally own a firearm, you should be able to legally carry it. That's just, how it works. We're getting that fixed all over the country. Concealed carry constitutional is now in my state, which is fantastic. So if we look at handgun mags, what am I talking about? Well, you have two different kinds of mags. You have training mags, and then you have carry mags, or duty mags, mags that you trust your life to. I apologize if you hear the clumping. That's my dogs coming down to visit. So, guns like this guy. This is my SIG P320X carry, Romeo 1, 10-core holster, Streamlight TLR7. Excellent handgun, right? Wilson combat frame. So in that gun, when I carry it, there are 3 mags involved in me carrying that gun on a daily basis. First one is the mag that's in the gun. It's a standard mag for whatever size grip that is. In a Glock 19, that would be a 15-rounder. In this pistol, it's a 17-rounder. My backup mag, carried in a Neo mag, is this guy. This is a 21-round magazine. So my backup mag is always a larger version of whatever my mag is in the gun. The one exception to that rule is if it's like a Glock 17, Glock 34, or not Glock 17, 34, but like a Glock 22, that is a 15-round 40 cal. My spare mag is a 15-round 40 cal. When I run these things, especially things like a Glock 26 or something like that, I'm running it in an appendix rig, and the spare mag, being a 17-round spare mag for my Glock 26, it doesn't stick up any higher. When I run the Glock 19, my spare mags are always these guys. So these are the factory plus 2 19-round mags for the Glock 19X. That's what I carry. And then there's a third mag. No matter what gun I carry, I rotate it out. If I'm running Glock, it's a spare 17-round mag. That mag is in my backpack. If I run my CZ, it's a spare 15-round mag. Running the SIG, it's a spare 21-rounder or 17-rounder. Just lives in the bag. That mag has Lehigh Extreme Defenders in it for every single gun. Every gun's got its own carry ammo. And whenever I change those out, my ammo once a year, if I, for concealed carry, sometimes as much as 6 months. Whenever I swap that ammo out, I swap the mags too. I have 3 sets for every gun. So that means for like this SIG, here's another set. Right there, 17 and a 21 rounder. That means that when I go to trade this ammo out after a year, I'm going to load a different set of mags. That means that by the time I get back to a set, it's 3 years in between use. Contrary to popular belief, running a mag loaded all the time isn't the problem. The issue comes from when we cycle the mags. So if you are, once you put ammo in, it compresses the spring. Once you release it, that is one cycle of the spring. That is what degrades the life of a spring. With modern technologies, modern materials, springs taking a set's really not that a thing anymore. For handguns, I don't download anything on handguns. I run them all the way up to their max capacity because handguns are built with a little bit of a buffer. This guy's fully loaded, and I can still push down about half a round. Doesn't present an issue on seating with a closed slide when I'm topping off a mag. So I always do that, but that means I also have to have mags to train with. I do not believe in taking out my mags and ditching my carry ammo and then running those mags on the range. I don't do it. I buy spare mags. Now, this is where the difference comes in with handguns. I'm pretty sure Pro Mag makes a freaking magazine for everybody's gun. The issue is, like this Pro Mag here does not work in my P320 at all. It jams, it gets stuck. No. So I run these, the ETS mags. I have 10 of these, and that's what I run. Now, as far as mags go, what do I think you should have? Well, for me, I have 3 sets of my carry mags. They get rotated every time. And I have between 6 and 10 training mags for every handgun I own. Now, with Glock, that's a little different. I've got 20 or 30 freaking training mags, but that's because I own a lot of Glocks, and they all take the same freaking mags. So, at least 6 to 10 mags, and always, for me, at least have a second set of carry mags. Rotate those when you rotate your ammo. And above all is anything you use for carry, don't use for training. It's not worth it. Buy a spare set, and these are carry-only mags. These are only used for when I conceal carry. versus these, which are never used for concealed carry and only for training. So have designated duty carry mags, designated training mags. Like I said, 6 to 10 of the training mag, and then at least 2 sets, if not 3, of your concealed carry mag. So, set that back in there. So next up, we look at your handgun mags. Or your rifle mags, excuse me. This to me applies, it doesn't matter if you're running a AR platform, which is mainly what I'm talking to here. You could also be doing AR-10s, you could do SCARs, you know, whatever. Whatever your primary fighting rifle system is that takes a detachable box magazine. You, again, need separate duty and training mags. Because here's the deal. I have mags that are brand new when I start them off on the duty stuff. That's loaded with home defense ammo, the ammo for work, whatever the case may be. And then whenever like a couple of years goes by of them sitting, I might rotate the ammos and put them in a different mag. But I have designated training mags. And for me, training mags for a rifle are mags that I would not necessarily stake my life on if I had an option. Things like Hex Mag, Pro Mag, you know, stuff like that. I don't necessarily trust them the same way I trust things like Duramag, ASC that are stainless steel, Magpul, Lancer. So I use them for training and training alone. Now, the mags that I run for my defensive use or for work are all pretty much kind of fall within that category. So for me, work mag or training mag, can't go wrong with a good old Magpul. These things are the standard for a reason. They're durable, they work. The only issue I've ever run into with them is you can actually stress these feed lips because they are polymer. Not as much of an issue on Magpul, is an issue on Hex Mag. So these are training mags, and you can actually see down on the bottom they'll have T for training. But I have had these. The feed lips will start separating over time or they'll crack. Another thing to keep in mind when you start talking about your training mag versus your duty mag and your work mag aren't going to get dropped on the ground nearly as often as your training mags. You may go through 15 reload drills, and you got to think every time you go through a reload drill, you're dropping a mag into the ground, into the concrete, the gravel, whatever. And yeah, they're durable, they'll take it, but eventually something will break. It doesn't need to be your actual mag that you're depending your life on. So these have this issue. I've had them hit the ground before and rounds come flying out of the top. That means the feed lips have a problem. And the only solution for that to a feed lip, if you still want to run a polymer mag, is to run something like this. These are one of my favorite mags ever. And that is the Lancer L5s. So I have a standard polymer mag. Doesn't matter what color I get it in. I can get them in orange, purple, blue. It doesn't matter. But what I do have are steel feed lips. So that eliminates the feed lip stress that I would have in a polymer mag. I've never had any of these fail. And I've been very impressed with them. They've been ultra reliable for me. Next to those, one of my favorites is going to be a Duramag. OK Industries, SureFeed, all that. Those kind of fall in there too. So this is a Duramag in OD green with some, these are 77 grain Match Kings. This is actually in one of my chest rigs because I wanted it all to match. And I have, the chest rig is Ranger green, so matchy. But anyway, I like these mags. And then next to those would be the stainless steel versions from ASC. These are ultra durable. And I have had no issues. You can tell like this one's kind of seen some use. I am a big proponent in 20 round mags. 20 round versus 29 round mags. Here's the deal with that. These are awesome. But they can get you into trouble when you try to go prone, when you're trying to do range work and stuff or zero things. You'll find yourself going to lay the rifle down and it catching on this and you not being able to get low enough to the ground. So I run a 20 round mag because it's lower profile. And the best I've found on the market so far, I have Lancers, I have Magpul, like there's a Lancer, there's a Magpul, there's an ASC aluminum. I like these stainless steel ones. The stainless steel ones, because the material's a tiny bit thinner, you actually have a little bit of a longer internal dimension than you would normally. So typically when we hand load AR ammo, we're loading it out to 2.260 inches, 2.260. Sometimes you need to load a little further out. Maybe increasing your powder volume a little bit if your rifle will take it, or you've got a very jump intolerant round. See another video for reference on that. These let me load out sometimes as much as 2.270. So it really makes a difference. You don't think it does, but that's not something you're going to actually ever use unless you're a hand loader. But I will say, for DMR work, sniper system work, everything, these ASC 20 round mags, absolutely my favorite. I have probably 40 of these. And usually when I buy them, I'll buy them 10 to 15 at a time. They'll go, all of my stuff travels with these. Like for example, if you open my LaRue's rifle case, my Plano rifle case, the LaRue's in the foam, I have two 30 round mags of this that are stainless steel. And then I have 6 of the 20 rounders, along with stuff that's designated just for that rifle. And these are excellent. These are really, really well made. So now we've talked about 20 versus 30. We've talked about some material differences. How many do you need? Well, how many can you buy? This is not a $45 SIG handgun mag. This is a $10, $12 mag. Even the Lancer stuff is like 15 bucks. So you can get a deal and buy 6 to 10 of these at a time, and there's no reason not to have them. You'll notice on mine, all of mine have numbers. I own a lot of mags, and I have a philosophy with mags is every gun has a designated fighting loadout of 6 mags that go to that gun specifically. Aside from that, every single gun I run has at least 10 training mags that I bought when I built the gun as the training mag, tribute, if you will. They volunteers tribute from the range time. I almost never travel without 10 to 20 training mags with me when I go to the range and stuff, and usually they're all already loaded to save myself time on the range. Range time is precious. Time is that one thing we can't get more of. I can buy more ammo, I can buy more mags, I can do all these things, but I can't give myself more time in a day to shoot. So I take care of that the night before because I load up a bunch of my mags, just cram them, they're ready to go. That way when I get out, I can start training immediately once I get the targets up, and I'm not fumbling around for 10 or 15 minutes loading my first initial set of mags to go shoot. I do the same thing with handgun mags. But for me, a good baseline is if you're going to have a rifle, you need at least 10 mags for that rifle. And then I would work my way up to where I had between 4 to 6 fighting rifle mags that are loaded with actual defensive ammo that you plan on using, because pay attention for the ones in the back. All of that really cool defensive ammo you either loaded or bought doesn't do you any good if it's not in a magazine. What are you going to do? Wait, hold on, man. Hold up. Wait, car. Let me load this mag real quick and we'll get right back to it. No, it doesn't do you any good if the mags aren't loaded. I know, right? None of these are loaded. Oh my God. But these are. I store the fighting mags for guns loaded. And I do that because I don't have time to load them if the situation arises in which I need them now. This is the deal with guns. Rifles, handguns, shotguns, whatever you want to play. If you need a gun, there is very little that's going to do its job, and you need it now. You don't need it 5 minutes from now. So do not set yourself up for failure by not having mags ready to go. Stage your mags. I have mags in my car. I have mags in my patrol bag. I have mags in my backpack. I always have ammo. And that's because that is literally the currency which you buy life and time with if you ever get into trouble, is ammo. The other side of that is situational awareness. If you think you're going to be situationally aware enough that you're going to load a magazine in order to stop somebody who intends to do you harm, it's like that whole carry with an empty chamber thing. You don't have that kind of time. This shit's decided in seconds, not minutes, seconds. You got to get in the fight. You got to do it now, and you have to do what you have to do. So that said, have your fighting mags loaded with your defensive ammo, because it doesn't do you any good in a box. And if you have it all in a box and somebody shows up intending to do you harm, you might wind up in a box. So load your fighting mags. I always load my range mags before I go out. That way I don't spend time loading my mags, because again, I can't buy more time when I'm on the range. I just need to be able to function once I get there. And the other one for me, and this is a big one, I love 300 Blackout too. A 300 Blackout mag looks just like this. You will only ever make the mistake of inserting the wrong mag one time, and your shit will grenade in your face. So please do me a favor. I don't care if you buy different color mags. I don't care if you just blue painters tape them. I'll do the same thing with the mag pulls that have the dot matrix grid on the bottom a lot of times. Woo, sorry, that was loud. Instead of just additionally having the number, I will have like dot 300 on here, so I know it's a 300 Blackout mag. And those mags are just for 300 Blackout. I don't ever use them for 5.56. They are strictly 300 Blackout. They are in a separate bag, because you don't get to make that mistake. That's a bad day for everybody involved. And last but not least, you may have noticed it looking around, all of these have numbers. Number your mag. Number your mags and keep a log of them. It gets to be a bitch. I've got hundreds of AR mags spread out all over the place, but I can tell you by going through my ledger what ammo is in it, when that ammo was put in there, and what kind of mag it is and how long I've had it in rotation. But that's important because if I go to the range and I've just got 10 of these, and I've had a malfunction a couple of times, and I'm like, damn, was that the same mag? And then I throw them all in a bag, and I get home, I have no idea which mag caused the problem. So, number your mags. Simple system. Get you some, paint marker and number your mags. Just number them so that you have a reference point. If you're out and you're shooting, something goes wrong a couple times, you're like, damn, it's that mag again. Throw that mag off to the side and address the issue with it. Mags are cheap and they are expendable. These are consumable items. People don't want to think about that because mags are supposed to last forever. No, these are consumable. These feed your device. If they start failing, they are a liability and you need to get rid of them. The only other option you have, and I highly recommend this for you shit hit the fan type people, which is have some extra mag springs and Magpul mag followers on hand. I know personally I keep 10 packages of the 3 packs of the Magpul enhanced followers because I'm always tearing stuff up or rotating things out or fixing things, or I'll buy surplus mags like these, the EPR mag, the enhanced the 855A1 mags with the blue follower. I keep followers and I keep springs. And the reason I do that is not so much because I just maintenance my magazines. No, I just buy new mags. But if the day comes where Congress and the stupid idiots in government decide that we are no longer allowed to add standard capacity magazines as human beings because we're dangerous, you're going to be really excited that you have a bunch of springs and followers that you can actually maintain the magazines and keep them in the fight. So look into that, get some extra mag springs, get some extra followers. And for the love of God, if you're playing around in the rain and the mud and your mag is bitten the deck in some mud 2 or 3 times, when you get home, take the base plate off, pull the mag out, wipe everything down, light oil on the magazine again. Rinse this out with tap water. I don't care. Get it dried out, put it back together so that you have a functional mag and you don't run the risk of giving yourself a malfunction you could have avoided just by cleaning up your shit. Remember, take care of your gear will take care of you. So guys, there you go. My thoughts on magazines. If you want a recommendation from me for fighting mag, it's always going to be Magpuls, Gen 2, Gen 3, don't care, all work. Lancer L5, the Warfire mags, excellent freaking mags. I don't care what color you buy, they all work exceptionally well and they're amazing. OK Industry Surefeed and Duramag, all good if you want an aluminum mag. Personally for me though, I buy them in the 30 grounders too, is the stainless steel mags from ASC, so you can look them up at ammosc.com. It's an amazing stuff. They're made in New Britain, Connecticut, but they are fantastic mags. This one is 5 years old, I think, 4 or 5 years old. It's had, God, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of rounds run through this mag, and I love them. I do. 20 rounders have an excellent purpose with me. I run them on work because they don't get hung on stuff. I run them in my car guns because they don't get hung on stuff. I run them when I do any precision stuff because I need to be lower to the deck and that gives you more stability. So yeah, 20 rounders serve a definite purpose. And those ASC stainless steels, if you get them in 30 or 20, are amazing. Just keep in mind they are a little heavier. So guys, there you go. I am Uncle Freedom. My thoughts on magazines. What are yours? I look forward to hearing from you. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I'll see you guys later.